Hi, I'm Alina Tran. I'm here with Dr. Laura Dorman. And let's see, let's start with tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Sure, I'm not a doctor.
Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I'm a registered dietitian, certified diabetes educator. I've been a dietitian for 21 years and a dietitian for, a diabetes educator for since 2007. So yeah, about 15, 16 years. And I work mostly with women and families that have a difficult relationship with food, a little bit of food and body chaos in their mind. And then I also work with anybody with diabetes who has struggles with understanding what the truth is because they've heard a lot of different information out in the public from their doctors, from their friends, from their families, a lot of misinformation. So I kind of clear that up for them and give them lots of great strategies, skills, tools um, to follow through with behavior change and create change.
Okay, that's very interesting. Can you tell us a little bit about your experience working with a person with diabetes? What is your process?
Sure. So the first thing is I need to understand from them what kind of emotions and feelings they're having about having diabetes and how long they've had it, what they've tried, what works best for them, what hasn't worked for them in the past, and really just getting to know them on a really deeper level, not just a surface level of under the hood and understanding like where they want their future vision to be of themselves and why they want that because there has to be a clear why or else they're not really sure why they're even doing anything. So then I kind of go into like their typical day of, their habits, their health habits, whether it be nutrition, sleep, movement, um, stress management, and then we'll go through and understand, where they need some support, which areas to feel better all around, physically, mentally, emotionally, and to improve their blood sugar levels. And definitely would want them to let me know their sugars at least 6 times a day when we first start for at least I would say 4 to 6 days, depending on the person, because
Mm-hmm.
some people don't want to check that much.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would want to see what's going on with what they're eating and how they're moving and how they're managing their emotions. Yeah, and then we'll work out what adjustments we need based on that.
Can you tell us how a diet could affect someone with diabetes and how it could affect different people differently?
Sure. So first of all, if someone is dieting or looking things up, information that's not really by someone credentialed, it could really harm them, especially if they've been given the advice to avoid carbohydrates. Now, some people, I would say maybe 5% of people that I've had experience with have told me that they feel fine with not eating a sufficient amount of carbs. It's hard for me to believe that, but I have to believe and trust that someone's telling me that they feel fine. However, as a registered dietitian, I can't teach that because the brain needs an adequate amount and all of our organs for energy and for to nourish our bodies every day. And also, what could happen is if someone's fasting or not eating enough carbs, it will really affect their mood, their decision making, their energy levels, and it actually could raise their blood sugar. They're trying to lower it, and in fact, like the stress that they're under to just diet or figure everything out could be causing an elevation in sugar as well. And then obviously you don't want someone to go hours without eating. It could definitely cause a low blood sugar. So there's no real middle ground. There's no stability in that, and then they're not going to feel their best. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but diet plays a crucial role. However, there's many other factors that are involved with diabetes besides diet that I think it's out there. There's too much of just the focus on diet, and there really needs to be this like whole person, um, self-care aspect of like, hold on here, there's 5 other things that we can work on besides your nutrition, but let's add the nutrition and focus on all of that.
Are there any specific foods that are like not your favorite, but like you find yourself recommending a lot?
Well, I go by my clients' preferences. So I would never want them to eat something that they are not comfortable with or that they don't like. But I would say as long as they're combining their fats, proteins, carbs, and fiber, that would be a great, so if somebody likes, whole grain toast with avocado and tomato and egg with berries, that would be great. But some people might not like that. Maybe somebody else wants oatmeal with a Greek yogurt and some strawberries or some mango on it or some peanut butter on it. So really understanding how to add like your proteins and your fats to your high fiber carbs, but not being rigid and strict, being flexible and sustainable and kind of having fun with
Hmm. And what is the role of exercise in all of this? Like, what is a good balance
it.
from like diet and exercise to maintain a healthy life?
First, yeah, well, first of all, we want to make sure that the person likes the exercise that they're doing. Of course, you could always feel good after you do the exercise, but you should really be enjoying the movement while you're doing it too. And instead of focusing on the word exercise, I think it has a little bit of a, I think a lot of people have a bad relationship with the word exercise, just kind of thinking it as some joyful movement that is necessary as part of your well-being, part of your self-care, and knowing that that movement will get them to reach their goals and their outcomes in their lives of improved blood sugar levels and lower A1C and just feeling the very best that they can through the process of managing their blood sugars. Yeah.
Joyful movement, I like that.
Yeah, definitely. Like, and even sometimes I tell people, like, if I'm working with, maybe like 25 and older or 30 and older, I'll tell them, think back to when you were a little kid, like what did you like, close your eyes and just kind of imagine like what you really enjoyed and like maybe you can find something that's similar so that's safe for them and that they enjoy. Like some people have been surprised like with how they challenge themselves and get uncomfortable and then they really enjoy it and they're more likely to regularly consistently do the movement if you enjoy it. For most people, movement is not really something that we're like, yes, let's go ahead and move.
Yeah.
It's our brain is really like wired to just stay comfortable and safe. And it's almost like saying like, I'm just going to do it now and I'm going to think later. And
Hmm.
that actually helps a lot of people, but you have to be in the mindset of really of loving and respecting yourself because if that's where it deeply comes from is like, if you really are loving and respecting of yourself, you will want to take better care of yourself.
Yeah, my grandfather has type 1 and he would just sit and watch TV all the time, but then we'd like tell him to get out the house and like take a walk or something. And he never really did until my grandparents adopted this neighborhood dog and then he would go and walk the
So he
dog.
had fun with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So can you tell us a little bit about more about your website and your workshop that you have coming up and what
Yeah.
people
Do you
can
want me to
expect?
share the screen real quick? Is that, can I?
Yeah, you can, yes.
Okay, because I think that would be nice for whoever's watching to see
Hmm.
some of the slides.
Yeah.
Okay, so hold on one second. So it's what was the first question? I know you said about the work. Oh, my website.
Yeah. And the
Yeah,
workshop, yeah.
yeah, my website's laurendormanrd.com. There are different workshops in the section there and workshops. There's information about adults and children and schools as well, because I'm doing education for school systems. And there's a lot of free resources as well, like podcasts that I've been in and other resources. So
Okay.
this should be coming out by the latest, I would say, like mid-February. I'm going to record myself and then have it readily available. So basically, I'm going to go through, A1C level, the meaning, complications, what determines your blood sugar. I think this is a really important slide right here because I don't think a lot of people think that so many different things impact their blood sugars.
Hmm.
And then how people who do participate in self-management and educating themselves, what happens, we lower the A1C, we might require less medication, we might reduce our blood pressure and prevent complications. Then we'll go into nutrient breakdown of the different food groups and how insulin works. We'll talk about how low carbs is definitely causing low energy and the reason that we need the high fiber carbohydrates. We'll go through ideas for meals and snacks, the hunger and fullness, so that we can mindfully eat more, and that will definitely improve our blood sugars. We'll also talk about a good relationship with monitoring your blood sugar, because I've definitely had experience of clients that just don't want to see that number, and they go weeks without checking because they kind of feel a shame or a guilt or a judgment. So it's just one point in time, and if it's high or not bad, and what's going on, definitely want to calm everybody down and teach patients and teach them where their levels are the most optimal, but not say it's good or bad, because then that would make them not feel like that great.
Mm-hmm.
And then we talk about why would it be an elevated glucose 2 hours later, like when you're looking at these visuals, and then why would it be more controlled to kind of get them using their minds and doing some decision making and like strategies during the workshop, so that they can critically think. And some non-food ways to manage glucose levels as well would really be important for people to understand, and how counseling can support the client as well. So all of these things are definitely covered throughout working with me one-on-one.
That's really helpful. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty I mean, I've used my 17 years of, I probably taught over 1,000 self-management classes when I worked at Monmouth Medical Center.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was teaching 3 times a week at one point for like 10, 12 years. So I just took all of my knowledge and skills and kind of put it into this workshop. I'm not sure if it's going to be 60 or 75 minutes. I have to see, what happens when I record it, but whatever it is, it is. And I think it'll help a lot of people.
And
It'll be
people are
very
just
valuable.
free to join. Like do they sign up on your website or?
Yeah, they would have to sign up on my website. Yeah, once I publish it, and I'll put it up on the workshop section. And again, hopefully my goal is by like February 15th. Yeah.
Okay. And finally, what else do you think can be done to spread awareness and like how important is it for people to know about proper nutrition, especially if they have diabetes?
Well, your program, right? Is that what you're all about? Like, are you
Yes.
trying to spread awareness?
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, the different types of, programs out there to make sure that people understand um, the importance of, you know, controlled blood sugars, and why, and also like why people would benefit from working with a registered dietitian or a certified diabetes educator.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a
What's the difference?
yeah. So any other healthcare professionals can become a certified diabetes educator. So like I worked with a nurse CDE, and
Mhm.
I'm a dietitian CDE. There's nurse practitioner CDEs. There could be pharmacist CDEs. So anybody who has that title of CDE would be great to start. But if somebody has diabetes, they really should make sure that they are working with a dietitian who has the CDE next to their name, because if they don't, they're not getting as much value, because that dietitian is not as specialized. Just like I wouldn't work with someone who had severe GI issues or oncology issues, I would always refer them out to someone that would give them better treatment.
Mm-hmm.
Because if doctors' offices also had access to anybody who's, A1C is high, and they're like, I've been trying, or I don't know what to do. If they had access to like a workshop that could help them, and that they could watch on their own time, that would be a great thing. And again, it's if that person wants to. Some people, they don't want to, but at least they have the option that this is available to you if you'd like to learn more.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited about eventually, letting more doctors in my area know about this.
Yeah.
I also feel like a lot of my job is helping, children and adults deal with stress and overwhelm and anxiety as well. And I'm so interested in, I'm always learning for myself. Like I try a couple times a week to do certain workshops and stuff, but my interest is really in that anxiety, because I truly believe that anxiety is also caused by like malnutrition, but the person doesn't realize they're malnourished. So
Mm-hmm.
they're just, eating very little in a day, and then all of a sudden, like they're feeling like irritable and moody and anxious and fatigued. And so once, I mean, I've seen it. I've seen teens and women that are now nourishing and variety and the different combinations, and all of a sudden they're like, I'm calmer and my mood's better and I'm focused. So that's a huge like interest of mine. This is all needed in our world today, and you're doing great work, and thanks so
Thank
much
you.
for having me.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Sure, have a great
Bye.
one. Bye bye.
You too.